Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe everybody has a soulmate? Some people believe in that. Some people say, yeah, there's one person out there that I'm meant to be with, and I'll find that person one day. What about a soul job? Do you feel like there's a job you were meant to do? You were born for this one job? It's so hard to understand if we are or not. Sometimes we fall into a job. Sometimes it's accidental. Sometimes we work really hard to get a job or a particular career, and then we have these passions within us that drive us to do whatever we do, and that end up, whether we become firefighters or politicians or authors. Henry Yaita is on the phone. He's a world missionary lecturer of happy science, and we've spoken to the happy science people before. Mr. Yaita is an attorney. He's responsible for international trade and investment projects at the Mitsubishi Corporation head office, and he's talking about The Heart of Work, 10 Keys to Living Your Calling, written by Ryuho Okawa, and we've had Mr. Okawa on before as well. And right now, let's say hello to Henry Yaita. Good morning, Henry. How are you?
Hello, good morning. Thank you for inviting me to talk about How to Work. It's a great book.
Oh, I appreciate the fact that you're on. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from New York right now.
From New York, but you live in Tokyo?
Yes, I flew from Tokyo the day before yesterday.
Okay, Robin had a story this morning. We have a question. Does Tokyo have a new mayor?
Yeah, new mayor.
A new governor?
Governor.
New governor.
Yeah, new governor, lady governor.
Is that something? Did that go over well? Did people like that?
Oh yes, I think so. She made a landslide victory this time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that leads right to the question. I mean, if that's her job now, I mean, do you think that's? Do you think it's built into us? I don't know how you want to say this, but do you think we're destined to have certain jobs in this lifetime?
Oh, well, yes. If you read How to Work, you may find out there's a discussion about calling in the first chapter 1. And to supplement the understanding about the concept, let me talk about the meaning of life. Probably you know very much about it. You talk about soulmate. So everybody, before we are born into this world, we make a life plan, discussing with maybe guiding spirits.
Okay.
That includes occupations. And we all have a mission to accomplish in this world through the job.
So how do we know if we're on the right track? And you just in Tokyo, you just said you have a lady governor. A lot of times women, They probably had that conversation with their spirit guides before they were born, and then they're born into a world where women aren't always given the same opportunities.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. So probably before you meet the right job or a calling, find out calling, probably you may have experienced the different job, but whenever you find the right job, probably you may feel deep satisfaction or kind of emotion that this is my right job.
Are you doing your right job?
Yes. thanks to Okawa, I find my calling. Yeah, I'm very happy now.
And were you not happy before you found this job?
Well, I would say I was not happy before I learned what Master Okawa says in this book, because I didn't know how to work in the workplace correctly.
Do you know a lot of people have gone their entire careers and then they retire from that career and they do what they felt like they were meant to do? In other words, for the sake of money, for the sake of earning a living, they took a job as, let's say, a doctor. But all their life they wanted to be an artist. But their mother and father told them 40, 50 years ago, artists don't make much money, so they became a doctor and they really weren't happy. But I wonder, I mean, maybe that was part of their mission too. Maybe they were supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everybody has a kind of a talent or a strength inside. So that will tell you what to do. And probably most of people work in kind of offices on other jobs, and they may wonder what is their calling. However, if you change the view about how you see your work, probably you can find out the right place to work even in the office. That's what I found in Mitsubishi Corporations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if for example in a large corporation like Mitsubishi, you would have somebody who's working on designing cars who also might be good at organizing things.
Yes, there are different kinds of jobs.
Okay.
So you can find out what is your kind of calling, even inside the company, and the way you do business, you can find out the difference.
But
especially, sorry.
Well, when people are working for other companies, they have different levels of. You've got the workers, you've got supervisors, and things like that. Even when you're a worker, you still have to have some kind of leadership skills that show you can be trusted to do the job when you're on your own and not have someone hovering over you.
Yeah. So in that sense, that it is not a matter of money or kind of titles, but by reading this book, probably you can improve your work nicer, and you can do an excellent job.
Do you think we're meant to change? Do you think we're like maybe when we're younger we have a job waiting on tables at a restaurant, and then we get a little bit older and we have one thing leads to the next, and sometimes we change tracks completely. Do you think that's just part of the way it's meant to be?
Well, yes, probably some people may have to do before you find out right job or kind of a vocation.
Do you know? Have you ever seen a James Bond movie?
Yes, but
okay.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. You mean the spies?
Yeah, James Bond. Okay, James Bond. At the beginning of every movie, his boss gives him all these things that he's going to use in the movie to survive. And then, as the story is told, every once in a while he has to use these devices that, as the audience, you were introduced to earlier in the story, and and sometimes I think that happens in life too. So, for example, let's say I had a job when I was younger. I had a job as a dishwasher. Now I don't know that washing dishes taught me anything, but I think the job taught me something. It gave me some tools, just like James Bond had a tool. So it gave me some tools that I used later on in other applications.
Yes, that is exactly what I experienced through my life too. For instance, I was working in trading company, but at the same time, I was a leader of the skiing club, and I have to take a leadership for the 300 people, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know why was doing like that. But after I met with Happy Science, I figure out why I had to experience those things.
It almost sounds like what you're saying is that God didn't make any mistakes.
No, He knows everything.
When people thought that the world was flat. I often think of this. The one thing they could have done was look up in the sky, and they could have seen that everything else is a sphere, is round. So our planet should be round also, but they didn't think that way. And when you look out at nature, every animal has a job. The beaver knows how to make a dam. The bird knows how to make a nest. You know, the little mama dolphin knows how to feed her baby. And in the same way, human beings have each been given a job. The difference is that our job is different from each other. We don't all have the same job.
Yeah. So exactly, this is exactly what Ryuho Oka talks about a work for the human beings. So as you pointed out, every animals do their job, but they can only do their own job, the same thing, However, we are given a talent to create something new through our work. So God intended us to feel the joy of creation through our occupations. That's what he says.
How do you talk to a young person who's deciding what to do? How do you tell that person, a young person, how do you teach that person to look inside themselves to determine what would be the best thing for them to do?
Well, so in that sense that, first of all, he may need to find out your kind of vocations. So what is your strength and what is your dream? And all these things will tell you what to do. Yeah, so this point, it must be very important, first of all, to find out their good job.
I think a lot of times when you're in school, a guidance counselor will say, well, you know, your grades show that you're very good at math, or your grades show that you're very good at science, and they try to put you on a path that will be a career. And if it doesn't make much money, but it's what your heart wants to do, sometimes it's a tough decision.
Well, yes, that's true. But so probably our purpose of life is not always making a good money.
Right. I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. How you accomplish your mission, make other people happy, or make the society better. So by doing that, you feel deep pleasure inside you.
But then people have to really try to assess their priorities, though, because sometimes work gets in the way of family and people choose work over family. So how do you help that person without feeling guilty about either one?
Oh, I see. But I don't mean we don't have to make money. So even in the field of mathematics or teachings, you can find out how to make livings. But important thing is to become really excellent professional in each field.
Yeah. If going back to the original concept that before we're born, we have this plan that we make with God or with our spiritual advisors or whatever you want to say it. Do we go through life, I mean, knowing that we're on the right track? Or, you know, to me, I would think that if that's the way it is, if that's the truth, then we should never be worried, because if we have faith, then that faith should be all we need. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
certainly.
Yeah. If I knew that it doesn't matter what I do, it's going to happen anyway. I'll just live my life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, the beaver has to make his own dam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, so everybody need to make their own living, and sometimes people have to get a job which is not originally intended. However, I would say you can find out the right place in your workplace. So in my case, when working in Mitsubishi Corporation, the primary purpose of the company is to make money. However, I realized by learning what Ryuho Oka says that the essence of work is same as giving love, to make other people happy.
That's right.
To make customer prosperous, and everything turns around, and such pleasure and profit come to us. So I focused on making a customer happy, and I focused on make a customer prosper. So I started to feel pleasure, and I started to feel this is my vocation.
That is,
Yeah.
I love that philosophy. Henry Yaita, hold on a second. We need to take a little break, but we'll be right back. We're talking about The Heart of Work, 10 Keys to Living Your Calling, written by Ryuho Okawa and Henry Yaita, calling us from New York. And we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sun mixing with some clouds today. There'll be a thunderstorm around this afternoon and evening, high 91 to 93. Partly cloudy tonight, low 75 to 78. Sun mixing with some clouds tomorrow and Wednesday. A thunderstorm around each afternoon, highs of 89 to 93. From the Photo Weather Center, I'm Heather Zayer.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective, friendly staff to provide you with the quality care you deserve. Call 352-237-8400 for an appointment or more information. That number again is 352-237-8400. Looking forward to service your vision needs.
FlySanford.com, Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Simpler, with an easy-to-navigate, compact airport design. You won't need your running shoes. Faster, with quick processing times from parking to plane in minutes. Better, with more nonstop flights to your favorite places. And new destinations are being added all the time. For enjoyable travel, come to Orlando Sanford International Airport. We are SFB. Simpler, faster, better. Before you fly, FlySanford.com.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
All right, 8 minutes now before 10 o'clock. We're having a very philosophical conversation with Henry Yaita. He is a world missionary, lecturer of happy science, and attorney, and he's talking about the heart of work, 10 Keys to Living Your Calling, written by Ryuho Okawa. And Mr. Okawa has been with us once before, I believe.
Yes, he has.
And Henry, thank you for being on the air with us today. During the break, I had a thought during the break based on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You said that your job, regardless of what you do, ultimately you're doing that to make somebody else happy, a customer or a coworker or somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
so here's the interesting observation. The observation is that in order to be happy,
yes,
you have to make other people happy.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Then you can feel happy. So, as you know, there's golden rules. So, try to do what that other people want. So, as you focus purely on this, you can feel happy. Same rule applies to business. If you look at the excellent hotel people or excellent cook, when you interview these people, probably they would say that they would. I think about happiness or satisfaction of customers. This is exactly the same thing as giving love to the people.
And I guess it applies in everything you do. It applies to your marriage. It applies to your role as a father or a mother.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I think so.
Yeah. I think so too. What about tough love when you're raising a child? And let's say the child keeps putting his hand in the fire, and you eventually have to yell at the child or spank the child, and you don't want to do that, but it's a way you're showing love because you want them to understand. Don't put your hand in the fire. It's going to hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to stop the children to put fire?
Yeah, or any. Yeah. Well, that's just a metaphor, but I mean. In everything in life, when you see somebody going in the wrong direction, if you were trying to get a job as a rock star, and I could clearly see that you were more of a philosopher, should I try to stop you or talk you out of it, or would I be making a mistake?
Well, so it's a difficult thing because everybody has a freedom to choose, and they make their own life plan.
Right.
So in that sense, it is good for you to discuss with him, but it's up to him and because probably he may have to experience something by choosing to be a rock star. But probably he may fail or success. And before he go on to the right track, he may be planning to do something, experience something important for him.
I think we have a theory that you can be whatever you want. Everybody believes that you can be anything you want to be, and sometimes that doesn't mean making money. I think sometimes we make that mistake. We think that everything we do has to make money. It doesn't always have to. Doesn't always have to make money, does it?
Yeah, that's true. But of course, there are some people who achieved great success and made money. So he may have a possibility. So it's difficult to determine before he tries. That's what I would say. But of course, you better say that there's a slim chance to achieve success. Are you ready to do that? We have to and we have to discuss on that too.
And this book is so positive because sometimes there are a lot of obstacles that are placed in people's way, and they try to, they have to stop one thing because they have to take care of something else. And this book allows you to focus on that, but also don't forget about what you really want and focus on your destination.
Yes. By carefully reading these books and practice it, probably you will find out the right place, a right job, and the right way to achieve success.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying helps us all, because I feel like if you are looking introspectively at your life, and it doesn't have to be when you're young. You could be you could change. You could be happy in your 50s, and then in your 60s you're going to do something different that makes you happy also.
Yes, exactly. So, of course, if young people read this book, probably they can achieve great success. But this book is also important for ladies or older people. They can make their life different. They make their work different by reading this and practicing this book.
And it also talks about serving people. I mean, a gift that people give just by volunteering to help others is a blessing. Yes.
That is another precious work too, I think. Yeah, this must be also part of your workbook of life.
This is a passion of yours, and we appreciate the fact that you've come on to talk about this. If you're ever in Florida, we'd love to meet you.
Oh, yes, I'd love to.
Or if I ever go to Tokyo, I'll come knocking on your door. The book is called The Heart of Work. Is the book available on the internet?
Yes, it's available by internet, including Amazon.com. or BarnesandNoble.com. You can purchase this book, both in paper book and ebook.
Okay, and happyscience.org, is that the website?
Yes, okawabooks.com.
Oh, okawabooks.com. Okay, let me go there. Let me see what that looks like.
okawabooks.com.
Okay, okawabooks.com.
Because I have happy-science.org.
Okay, all right.
Oh, this is another one. But if when it comes to books, access ryuhookawa.com.
Oh, look at this.
This is a newly made website.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
it.
Nice.
It's got a girl with a bunch of balloons. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Please enjoy.
There you are.
This is a brand new website. We just renovated.
Well,
perfect.
While you're in New York, by the way, don't forget the best pizza in the world is right in that city.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
I enjoy pizza, actually.
Well, thank you for being on the air with us today, and you're always welcome. Thank you for being on. Come back.
Thank you very much.
All right, we will be right back.
Thanks.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Tragic results of weekend flooding in Maryland.
We have 2 confirmed fatalities that have been recovered on the Baltimore County side of the river.
Howard County Police Chief Gary Gardner, 170 cars destroyed.